This is a story of the two birds from the Mundaka Upanishad. In the beginning, two beautiful birds with golden wings sitting on the same tree. The first bird is busy eating the fruits of the tree. Some are sweet and some are bitter. This bird is the Jiva, the individual soul or ego. It is caught up in the cycle of birth and death, samsara. It eats the fruits of its actions, karma. Some are pleasurable and some are painful. Some make it happy and some bring sorrow. Because it is so engrossed in its worldly pursuits, it is often bewildered and filled with grief. The second bird is the Atman, the universal self or pure consciousness. It simply sits on the same tree watching the first bird without eating any of the fruits. This bird represents the eternal witness to all of the experiences of the individual soul. It is untouched by the actions and their results, remaining in a state of pure bliss and peace. The tree itself is a symbol of the physical body and the material world in which we live. The first bird, the individual soul, is identified with the body and its worldly experiences. It thinks it is the body and experiences the world through the senses. Because of this identification, it suffers. The second bird, the universal self, is not identified with the body or the mind. It is the silent witness within that observes the thoughts, feelings and sensations, but is not affected by them. It is always in a state of peace and bliss. The first bird, Jiva, the individual soul, after being repeatedly afflicted by the bitter fruits of its actions and sorrow, occasionally looks up and sees the peaceful second bird, Atman, and wonders, how is it possible for two birds to sit on the same tree and not be affected by its fruits? This sight fills the first bird with a sense of peace and a desire to be like its companion. It asks the second bird how it can attain that state of peace, and the second bird simply replies, "Turn your head within." The Upanishad now tells us that when the individual self realizes its true nature and its inherent connection to the universal self, its grief and suffering fall away. It turns its head within and sees the silent witness within itself and realizes that it was never truly separate from that eternal bliss. The two birds were never two in reality. It was only in its ignorance that it suffered. Now it has attained liberation. So the core message of this allegory is that our suffering is a result of identifying with the ego and its experiences. True freedom comes from shifting our identity to the eternal, unchanging self that simply observes. When we realize that we are not the body or the mind, but the pure consciousness that is always at peace, we attain liberation.